I'm on episode number 191 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be for the Cyber Sunday pay-per-view, Sunday week 4 of October 2021 for the SmackDown brand. Actually need to get the actual numbers up, because that will be something useful for later on in the show. So I can actually get the results. I haven't grabbed the numbers yet, but I'm going to have them open up on my other screen here so I can refer to them. I've actually just had another one since I last checked. 73 was the total number of responses, which is actually a lot better than I thought. I was expecting like 20 odd, but 73 is that's a lot. And yeah, good feedback from that. I appreciate it all. And let's see. The fate of the WWE Universe was in your hands, people. Let's see if you use that power wisely. Because again, there is an option for each match that would have changed my booking plans. But let's see how many of those did you hit. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show. I can tell you one that didn't hit it, and that's this pre-show match. Zelina Vega and Sonya Deville. And Sonya wins in 7:58 by pinfall in a 65 rated match, because I was looking at the psychology of both these women, and they're both really shit. Like, in terms of psychology. But as you can tell by the 73 and the 70, they're actually good at the basics and shit. But I think Sonya had like 50 and Zelina had like 46 psychology, and I was like, bleh. That's just not good. But Sonya gets the win on the pre-show. No votes for that one because it's a pre-show match. But yeah, moving on to the main show. We get a hype video for all the big matches tonight. Roman Reigns defends in the main event against one of these three men. Will it be Cesaro, will it be Buddy Murphy, or will it be the injured Damian Priest? Candice LeRae challenges Queen Sasha for the SmackDown Women's title, but who will be the special referee of that match? And then Drew Gulak defends against a member of the SmackDown roster. The opening segment is Shotzi and Ember coming out. I've just used them two, but it would be them two and the Lady Scots as well, because we're going to decide what stipulation they'll be defending the championship in. And I can confirm that in last place with 13 votes was the Lumberjack-a-Lantern match. In second place with 23 votes was the Trick or Street fight. And the winner with 51%, 37 votes. We're getting ourselves another ladder match here, people. And 24 hours after losing War Games, Shotzi and Ember are now defending the women's tag team titles in a ladder match that gets a 72. Ember Moon has a stomach infection. How did she sustain that in a match? I don't think that's going to keep her up for very long. She got the shits, bless her. So, Ember and Shotzi defeat the Lady Scots in a ladder match. When Shotzi retrieved the item, Ember Moon and Shotzi make defense number 2 of the Women's Tag Team Championships. 70 for Shotzi, 71 for Ember, 63 for Nikki, and a 74 for Kaylee Ray. So one match down. One match has gone unaffected by your votes. I'm aware that the stomach infection has been sustained in the match. Devon Dudley, it's fine. Anyway, up next, Elias and Matt Riddle are having their match. Poles have been set up at ringside. But what will be hanging from the poles? I can tell you this was the closest vote. 45% to 55%. With 33 of you voting for Elias's guitar to be suspended on a pole. And then 40 of you voted for Matt Riddle's bongos to be suspended on the pole. And I did think about subverting expectations and doing the thing where, like, oh, because you voted for Riddle's item, Elias is going to win. Because if you voted for Elias's guitar, Riddle's going to win. But the guitar would have been the one that would have led to Elias picking up the win. So I kept it as normal, which means, of course, Matt Riddle defeats Elias by pulling the bongos down. They get to be used as a weapon. And of course, he'd hit Elias over the head with the bongos. The fucking skin on the top would break. And we'd get the comedy spot of Elias flatting around with the bongo on his head. And then a big knee or whatever. Bro Derek. 1, 2, 3. Matt Riddle defeats Elias in a bongo on a pole match. 86 for Matt Riddle and a 75 for Elias. Ending that feud once and for all. We're now going to find out which member of Bivens Enterprises will face Rey Mysterio one-on-one. Will it be AJ Styles? Will it be Kevin Owens? Or will it be Omos? Well, 21% of you, which is 15 people, decided you wanted to see AJ Styles face off against Rey Mysterio. 33% of you, which was 24 of you, decided that you wanted to see Kevin Owens, the man he betrayed to join Bivens Enterprises, wrestle Rey Mysterio. And then 47% of you hate this man, which is 34 of you, because the winner, Rey Mysterio, is facing off against Omos. And it doesn't go long. in 4 minutes and 18 seconds, Omos, of course you know what happens here. You've seen Rey wrestle the Great Khali. Rey was actually down for getting squashed as well, so gonna give him a hug after the show. And Omos defeats Rey in 4 minutes with a big double choke slam. 60 for Omos and a 77 for Rey Mysterio. Yeah. Omos to dominate, Omos to win. Omos decisively picked up the win over Rey Mysterio. And of course, Dominic not at ringside because, for all we know, he could have been voted in to wrestle for the US title later on tonight. And then get a quick backstage segment with Bianca Belair and Kayla. She's like, you don't even know which version of Alexa's going to show up tonight, Bianca. And she's like, well, it doesn't matter, girl. If she's going to put her little spooky makeup on, she's going to bring her glitter, she's going to bring her fucking pigtails. It doesn't matter who it's going to be, she's going to catch this work. And then Bianca makes her way out to the ring. And we then get to see which version of Alexa will face off against Bianca Belair. Well, this one actually surprised me, because in joint second, both with 20, which is 27% of you each, is Glitter Bliss and Spooky Bliss. And the winner, with 33 votes, 45%, wanted to see the Goddess face off against Bianca Belair. Which surprised me. I thought that one would be the least interesting one, because it's just like normal Alexa. You've got Babyface Alexa, who's like, you haven't seen in fucking years, and you're like, oh yeah, that's just quirky and novel. And you've got the Spooky Bliss, which is current Bliss, and like, oh, it's spooky. But no, Goddess Alexa has won, which means that in 10 minutes and 13, Bianca defeats Alexa. You can probably guess which version would have led to Alexa winning, and it wasn't this one. So Bianca wins in 10-13 with a KOD in a 76 match. That's actually pretty good. 64 for Alexa Bliss and a 71 for Bianca Belair. And Goddess Bliss, she showed up by fan vote, but she couldn't get the job done against the EST of SD. Drew Gulak's now weighing in the ring, because we're going to decide which member of the available options of the SmackDown roster are going to face him. The options were Big E, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, Dominic Mysterio, Dio Madden, Mansoor, Mark Andrews, Morgan Webster, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Andrade, Baron Corbin, Jimmy Uso, and Ivar. And we start with the person with 0 votes. Only one person out of that whole list got 0 votes. And that's our good friend Angelo Dawkins. Got 0. 1 vote apiece went to Mark Andrews and to Jimmy Uso. 2 votes went to Baron Corbin. 3 votes went to Bobby Roode. 4 votes went to Dominic Mysterio, Mansoor, Morgan Webster, and Ivar. 5 votes went to Dio Madden. 6 votes went to Big E. And then the top 3, 8 votes, which is 11% of people, chose Montez Ford. In second place, with 11 votes and 15% of you picking him, was Randy Orton. And the winner, with 20, which is 27% of all the votes, Andrade. Which I genuinely thought Randy Orton was going to win. And obviously he came second, because obviously it's Randy Orton fighting for the US title. And Andrade, him winning kind of surprised me, but him winning by how much he did really surprised me. I don't know if it's because like he's you think I haven't been using him a lot, and you want to see me give him an opportunity. I don't know if it's because he's scoring the best in the game, or what it is, but Andrade was the popular choice here. But unfortunately for Andrade, his downfall is that he's technically a major star in the game. Which means I cannot put the US title on him here, which means Drew Gulak has to defend it in a 16-18 by roll-up. Well, it says roll-up, but one of those cradles that he'd been winning with. Which is funny, because I was prepared to take the title off Gulak on this show. If any of the people that are well-known and below would have been voted in, I probably would have made them US champion. Because it would show that the people that they're over to you, and that the people want to see them get pushed. But Andrade was a major star. The only people on here that were stars, I think, were Andrade, Randy, Big E, and Corbin. So those three would have lost. But everybody else was well known or below, so they would have. I probably would have had them all win the belt if you voted them in, because obviously that would have shown they were popular and you wanted them to get pushed. But unfortunately, one of the only stars on the list got voted in, which means Gulak has to defeat him. Which would have also been funny if Randy Orton would have won, because he also wouldn't have been able to win the title, because he's not a mid-carder. So Gulak would have had to have rolled him up as well. But Andrade got a 96, so that's why you voted him in, I guess. And Gulak got a 77. And it's now time for Eric versus Dijakovic, the randomised feud of the month. I think this is actually the first time that I've had the random feud get onto the main card of a pay-per-view. Because I know Boogs and Asuka didn't have a match, because I don't do an agenda. Dexter and R-Truth against the Death from Above was on the kickoff. The Iconics didn't get on the pay-per-view when they were feuding with each other. Oh, I guess Ziggler and Roode was randomised for SummerSlam, as was Oney and Bobby. So yeah, that's actually not true. But a lot of the time the randomised feud doesn't get on the pay-per-view, but I fancied this one. Just a nice little interesting showcase between two mid-carders. And with 11 votes, coming in last with 15% was Last Man Standing. Second place with 16 votes and 22% was The Force Count Anywhere. And by far and away the winner, 63% of you, 46 votes, wanted to see Raw Underground rules. So we're going back to the Raw Underground ring for Eric versus Dijakovic. 73, that's fucking... They don't seem to click, apparently. But I guess the Raw Underground setting made this cool. But Eric wins. He defeats Dijakovic in a Raw Underground rules match in 8:46 by stoppage. 64 for Eric and a 68 for Dijakovic. That's a big win for, well, one of the Vikings. Especially now that... I can't say that yet because that's not officially been made public. Because we're supposed to believe that he's supposed to be able to wrestle on this show. But as we know, with the situation with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships up in the air, the Viking Raiders getting momentum is good timing for them. And Eric gets an emphatic win in Raw Underground Rules against Dijakovic to wrap up that feud of people just fighting because they fancied a fight. Here's an interesting one. Queen Sasha and Candice LeRae for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Who will be the special guest referee? Will it be GM Adam Pearce? Will it be Mickie James? Or will it be Johnny Gargano? Well, I can tell you who it won't be, and that's in third place with 18 votes. 25% of you wanted to see this called down the middle, and wanted Adam Pearce to be the referee. But not enough of you. You have 21 votes and 29% of the voting. You wanted to see Mickie James as the referee. And the winner, 47% of you and 34 votes. Johnny Gargano is refereeing this match. And he made it abundantly clear on SmackDown that he wants Candice to win, obviously, because that's his wife, but he also doesn't want it to be, like, dastardly, and he wants it to be fair. He doesn't want Candice to be the champion with an asterisk next to her name. So he's going to be there, but he's not going to cheat on behalf of his wife. He's going to call this match down the middle and have front row seats, maybe to call his wife winning the championship. And he probably would, like, eject Mickey and Indy and Dana from ringside just to even the numbers, because Candice won't have anyone at her side because Johnny's in the ring. And make it a fair fight. And holy shit, I've just realised the rating of this. I was just chatting shit while it was on. And I've just seen the rating now. The match gets an 85. But, so yeah, it's a one-on-one. Like Johnny said, Candice gets a couple of hope spots. He covers. Sasha kicks out late and he puts his dramatic Johnny Gargano face on. Like, oh my shit, come on Candice, you can do it, you can do it. But in the end, Johnny's loyalty to his wife and wanting her to win this fair and square was his downfall, because Sasha locks her in the bank statement and Candice tries to get to the ropes, but she does that thing where she puts her feet on the ropes and pushes back, flips them back into the center of the ring. Johnny's like, come on Candice, fight. And then Candice has to submit, and Johnny's got no choice. Sasha like smugly smiles at him as she submits. He's like, yeah, fuck you cunt, ring the bell. And Johnny's like, oh my god, no. But he has to do it because he doesn't want to cheat. That's not what he wants to do. That's not the Gargano way. And Sasha defends for the second time the SmackDown Women's Championship in 12:47. And becomes more of a dickhead in the process by just, I guess, rubbing it in to Johnny that his wife tapped out right in front of him and there's nothing he could have done something about it. But his morals got the better of him. 87 for Sasha, 70 for Candice. 85 for the match. I was going to say the main event's got a tough ask to beat that, but with Cesaro winning it, I think they might be okay.
Is cooking.
And here it is, the main event. Who will be the one to face off against the Tribal Chief? Will it be one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Buddy Murphy? Will it be the other half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Damian Priest? Or will it be Cesaro, who is very much on a roll? With 20 votes coming in last, and 27% of you, it is Damian Priest and his broken ankle. Thankfully, he didn't get voted into this match despite being injured, because I would have felt awful. I mean, I'll do anyway for the 20 of you who wanted him, but, like, I feel awful for all of you who didn't get the vote that you wanted. But at the end of the day, it's democracy. And with 22 votes, 30% chose Buddy Murphy. And the winner, 31 votes, 42%. To the surprise, not to the surprise of me at all, I expected this. Big Swiss Tony's coming in. He's got his chance to tango with the Tribal Chief. 87. Yeah, there's no tension. Roman beats him. Exceptional match. He passes out in the guillotine in 17:53. Roman gets a 91 and an 81 for Cesaro. When I said that there's going to be an option for each that's going to change my plans, I made sure to specify that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to change the winner, because none of these three were going to be beating Roman on this pay-per-view. But there was one where if you'd have voted him in, it would have led to a change in the story. But that wasn't... So you actually didn't hit any. So that's lucky for me. none of the special voting options that would have made me change course got voted in, which I guess is a break after what happened to the fucking tag titles. Twice. But Cesaro makes the Roman Reigns machine look good. And Roman hoists his WWE Championship in the air, Bloodline behind him. They're the ones to end the show. When Finn Balor and Ridge Holland make their way to the ring, Finn's obviously got his World Heavyweight Championship that he won last night from Oney. And Balor just gets into the ring, and Roman's like pushes Jimmy and Jacob Fatu back, and he's like, "What do you want, Finn?" Finn just takes the big gold belt off, hoists the big gold belt in the air in front of Roman, and Roman lifts his belt in the air, and the two men stare down with their belts being held high to win the show. A show that gets us a 95? Did I buy a special set for this? Well, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, fair enough. To be fair, I got 2 85 matches and an 87 match. That's pretty fucking good. What matters more than the 95, obviously, is what you thought of the show. So, believe it or not, your opinion matters more than a 95. So do let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for Raw Week 1 of November, when we start the build to Survivor Series. See you then.